Have you ever felt that no matter how hard you work, financial harmony remains just out of reach? What if I told you that the ancient wisdom of the 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, and ether holds the secret to transforming your financial reality? This isn't just another money management strategy. This is about aligning the very energies of the universe with your financial goals. In the next few minutes, you'll discover how these powerful elemental forces are already shaping your financial life, whether you realize it or not, how harnessing them can create abundance beyond your wildest dreams. Stay with me, because the financial breakthrough you've been searching for might be just one element away. Financial balance isn't just about numbers in a spreadsheet or apps on your phone. It's a living, breathing harmony that permeates every aspect of your existence. The ancients understood something we're only beginning to rediscover, that our material world mirrors the elemental forces that surround us. Earth, water, fire, air, and etheric carries unique energy that, when balanced, creates the perfect conditions for wealth to flow naturally into your life. Let's begin our journey with Earth, the foundation of all financial wisdom. Earth represents stability, practical reality, and the physical manifestation of wealth. In financial terms, Earth is your tangible assets, your home, your savings account, your emergency fund. It's solid ground beneath your financial feet. When your Earth element is balanced, you feel secure and grounded in your financial decisions. You know what you own, what you owe, and where every dollar goes. Consider Sarah, a teacher who struggled with financial anxiety until she embraced the Earth element. She created a simple system to track her expenses, established a modest emergency fund, and suddenly, that constant worry about money began to fade. She wasn't making more money, she was simply honoring the Earth element by creating stability. How can you strengthen your Earth element? Start by knowing your numbers. Exactly how much comes in each month? How much goes out? Where does it go? Create a dedicated space in your home for Financial Matter 7. If it's just a special folder or a specific chair where you pay bills. Physical organization creates energetic organization. Plant your financial garden deliberately, with seeds of intention rather than scattered by the winds of impulse. Now let's flow into the water element. Water represents emotional relationships with money, flexibility, and the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. Water is your cash flow, the movement of money into and out of your life. It's your relationship with spending and saving, giving and receiving. When your water element is balanced, money flows smoothly. You don't dam it up with hoarding, nor waste it through leaky spending habits. You understand that, like water, money must circulate to remain fresh and vital. Meet Michael, who always felt that money slipped through his fingers. By working with the water element, he created spending streams, specific channels for his money to flow through, rather than an uncontrolled flood. He established automatic transfers to savings, investments, charity, and discretionary spending, turning his financial flood into a controlled irrigation system that nourished every area of his life. To balance your water element, examine your emotional relationship with money. Do you feel guilty when you spend? Do you use shopping as emotional therapy? Create healthy boundaries for your financial flow like riverbanks that guide the current without stopping it. Remember that both drought and flood represent imbalance. The goal is steady, nourishing flow. The third element, fire, represents your ambition, passion, and the transformative power of focused financial intent. Fire is your income potential, your career growth, your entrepreneurial spirit. It's the energy you invest to transform your time and talents into financial value. When your fire element is balanced, you're motivated but not burned out. You're ambitious but not consumed by greed. You work with passion but maintain healthy boundaries. Consider James, who was stuck in a job he hated because it paid well. His fire element was smothered by fear. When he finally rekindled his passion by starting a side business in his true area of interest, his overall financial situation actually improved because balanced fire attracts more fuel. To strengthen your fire element, invest in your earning potential, learn new skills, expand your network, and most importantly, align your work with your passion whenever possible. Set inspiring financial goals that motivate rather than deplete you. Remember that fire needs both fuel and oxygen. It needs resources, but also space to breathe. Next, we ascend to the air element. Air represents intellectual understanding, communication, and the power of financial education. Air is your financial literacy, your ability to understand complex concepts, and your skill in negotiating and communicating about money. When your air element is balanced, you make decisions based on knowledge rather than fear or hearsay. You're able to discuss money openly with partners, family members, and financial professionals. Consider Lisa, who avoided investing for years because she found it confusing and intimidating. When she embraced the air element by committing to just 15 minutes of financial education each day, her confidence soared. 6 months later, she had established a diversified investment portfolio and was explaining index funds to her friends over coffee. To enhance your air element, make financial education a regular part of your life. This doesn't mean becoming obsessed with financial news. It means developing a clear understanding of fundamental concepts. Have open conversations about money with trusted friends or join communities where financial topics are discussed positively. Remember that, like air, knowledge needs to circulate to remain fresh. Finally, we reach the most subtle but perhaps most powerful element: ether. Ether represents your financial belief systems, your sense of possibility, and your connection to universal abundance. Ether is the space in which all other elements exist. It's your financial mindset, the invisible container that either limits or expands what's possible for you. When your ether element is balanced, you believe in your financial worthiness without attachment to specific outcomes. You trust in abundance while taking practical action. Meet David, who grew up in poverty and carried a deep belief that money is scarce and hard to come by. His other elements were relatively balanced, had stable savings, decent cash flow, good earning potential, and financial knowledge. But this ethereal limitation kept wealth at bay. When he finally recognized and transformed this belief through visualization, affirmation, and surrounding himself with examples of abundance, his financial reality began to shift dramatically. To nurture your ether element, become aware of your financial beliefs. What did you learn about money as a child? What unconscious beliefs might be limiting your prosperity? Create space for wealth by decluttering both your physical environment and your mental landscape. Practice gratitude for what you already have, which paradoxically creates more space for receiving. Now that we understand each element individually, the true magic happens when we bring them into harmony. Just as in nature, an imbalance in one element affects all others. Too much fire without earth creates burnout. Too much earth without water creates stagnation. Too much water without air creates emotional financial decisions without logical foundation. Consider the case of Emma, who had an impressive salary, strong fire, but lived paycheck to paycheck with massive debt. Weak earth. She knew all about budgeting and investing, strong air, but felt too anxious to actually implement this knowledge. Imbalanced water. And underlying everything was a belief that she didn't deserve financial security. Wounded ether. No single element solution would help Emma Shea needed holistic balance. Emma began by strengthening her earth element with a simple tracking system for her spending. She addressed her water element by exploring her emotional spending triggers through journaling. She protected her fire by setting boundaries at work to prevent burnout. Put her air knowledge into practice through small, manageable action steps. And she healed her ether by joining a community of financially empowered women who reflected new possibilities back to her. Within a year, Emma had paid off $15,000 in debt, established an emergency fund, reduced her work hours while maintaining her income, and most importantly, felt a sense of calm confidence about money for the first time in her life. She hadn't just fixed her finances, he had created elemental harmony. This elemental approach works because it addresses the full spectrum of your financial life. Traditional financial advice often focuses only on air, knowledge, and earth, practical steps, ignoring the crucial roles of water, emotional patterns, fire, passionate engagement, and ether, belief systems. To begin your own journey toward elemental financial balance, I recommend starting with a simple audit. Rate each element in your financial life on a scale of 1 to 10. Where do you feel strongest? Where might you need more attention and care? There's no perfect distribution. We're all unique expressions of these energy spots. Bringing awareness to imbalances is the first step toward harmony. Earth audit. How stable do your finances feel? Do you have clear systems for tracking and organizing your money? Do you have adequate savings and emergency funds? Is your financial foundation solid? Water audit. How smoothly does money flow through your life? Do you have a healthy relationship with both spending and saving? Can you adapt to financial changes without emotional flooding? Are your financial boundaries clear, but not rigid? Fire audit. Are you engaged in work that energizes rather than depletes you? Are you growing your earning potential? Do you pursue financial goals with passion and focus? Is your ambition sustainable? Air audit. Do you understand the basics of personal finance? Can you communicate clearly about money? Do you make financial decisions based on knowledge rather than emotion? Are you open to learning more? Ether audit. What do you believe is possible for you financially? Do you feel worthy of prosperity? Is there space in your consciousness for abundance? Can you visualize financial success with emotional conviction? As you reflect on these questions, patterns will emerge. Perhaps you're strong in earth and air, but need to develop your water and fire. Or maybe your fire burns brightly, but lacks the grounding of earth. There's no judgment here, only awareness and opportunity for growth. Remember that these elements aren't just metaphorical. They can be physically represented in your environment to strengthen their energies. Place a plant or crystal on your desk to enhance earth energy. Keep a small fountain or bowl of water in your wealth corner to represent flow. Light a candle when paying bills to invoke the transformative power of fire. Use essential oils or incense to stimulate air's intellectual clarity. Create space on your altar or meditation area to connect with ether's infinite potential. Your financial environment powerfully influences your financial consciousness. Look around your home or office right now. What elemental messages does your space convey? Piles of unopened bills signal earth imbalance. A dried-up fountain suggests stagnant water energy. Burned-out light bulbs reflect diminished fire. Cluttered bookshelves indicate air congestion. And a space that feels cramped or chaotic shows ether constriction. Small, intentional changes to your environment can shift your entire financial experience. Clean your windows to literally clear your financial view. Air. Fix leaky faucets to prevent money leaks. Water. Place symbols of abundance where you'll see them daily. Ether. Open pathways through your home to allow prosperity to flow freely. All elements. Beyond your physical environment, consider how these elements manifest in your daily habits. Earth practices include tracking expenses and balancing accounts. Water practices include setting healthy spending boundaries and processing financial emotions. Fire practices include investing in your skills and celebrating financial wins. Air practices include reading financial books and having open money conversations. Ether practices include visualization, affirmation, and gratitude for abundance. What would it look like to incorporate one new elemental practice each day? Perhaps Mondays for earth, Tuesdays for water, Wednesdays for fire, Thursdays for air, and Fridays for ether, with weekends for integration and reflection. Small, consistent actions create powerful elemental momentum over time. As you work with these elements, you'll notice that financial balance isn't a destination, it's a dynamic dance. Some seasons of life naturally emphasize certain elements. During career transitions, fire takes center stage. When buying a home, earth dominates. During relationship changes, water flows more prominently. The goal isn't perfect, static balance, but conscious engagement with these energies as they naturally ebb and flow. This elemental approach offers something that conventional financial advice often lacks: soulful sustainability. When your financial practices honor all dimensions of your being: physical, emotional, energetic, intellectual, and spiritual, they become not just effective, but enjoyable. Money management transforms from a dreaded chore to a sacred practice. Consider how different this feels from the typical approach to financial improvement. Instead of just creating a budget earth because you should, you create a spending plan that honors your values: earth, Geo 1, ether. Instead of forcing yourself to save through willpower alone, earth, Dia 1, air, you heal the emotional patterns that drive overspending, water. Instead of grinding away at a high-paying job you hate, imbalanced fire, you explore ways to monetize work that energizes you, balanced fire. This integration of elements creates financial resilience. When economic storms command, they always do. Elemental balance keeps you steadfast. Those with only earth strategies may crumble when the ground shifts beneath them. Those relying solely on fire may burn out in challenging times. But with all 5 elements in harmony, you can weather any financial season with grace. Let me share a personal example. When I lost my corporate job during an economic downturn, my initial panic, water imbalance, nearly led to financial disaster. But because I had been cultivating elemental balance, I had not just an emergency fund, earth, but also side income streams: fire, knowledge of unemployment benefits, air, supportive financial relationships, water, and unshakable faith in my resilience, ether. What could have been catastrophic became merely challenging, and ultimately led to greater prosperity than my job had ever provided. This is the promise of elemental financial balance: not just survival, but thriving through alignment with the fundamental energies of existence. When your financial practices honor Earth's stability, water's flow, fire's transformation, air's clarity, and ether's possibility, you create a life where money serves as a powerful ally rather than a persistent worry. The journey to financial harmony isn't always easy. You'll encounter resistance, old patterns, and challenges along the way. But each time you consciously choose elemental balance over habitual reaction, you strengthen your financial foundation. Each small victory creates momentum for the next. Begin where you are. If analyzing all 5 elements feels overwhelming, start with the one that most resonates with you right now. Are you craving stability? Earth? Emotional healing around money? Water? Renewed passion in your work? Fire? Greater financial understanding? Air? Expanded belief in what's possible? Ether? Trust your intuition to guide you toward your next best step. Remember that these elements exist not just within your financial life, but within you. You are made of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Financial harmony isn't about imposing external systems, it's about aligning with your own elemental nature. When your financial practices reflect who you truly are, prosperity flows not as something you achieve, but as a natural expression of your authentic being. As we conclude our exploration of the 5 elements of financial balance, I invite you to look at your relationship with money through this new elemental lens. Which elements are you naturally drawn to? Which might need more of your loving attention? The path to true financial harmony isn't found in following someone else's system. It's about creating sacred balance among these universal energies in your unique life. If this perspective has sparked something within you, please support our channel by liking this video and subscribing for more content that bridges ancient wisdom with modern financial life. Share your elemental insights in the comments below. I read every one and would love to know which element resonates most strongly with you right now. Remember, prosperity isn't just something you create, it's something you allow when all elements are in divine harmony. Until next time, may your earth be stable, your water flow freely, your fire burn brightly, your air bring clarity, and your ether expand infinitely.